You ready? What's up, party people? It's your boy, MC Popsicle, and I am here. Scott Innes, actually Scooby-Doo. And
Shaggy, Scrappy, do the whole bunch, man. Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk to you. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
So, how did you get involved with Scooby-Doo in the first place?
Well, I mean, I'm like every kid. I grew up with it. You know what I mean? I'm 58 years old. It came out in '69, so I was about 3 years old. From the start of the day it debuted in September of 1969, I've been watching it. And then, all these years later in '96, Don Messick was a dear friend of mine. I'm in radio, so he was one of my interviews wherever I'd go to a new city. And he taught me how to do it. And then being in radio, I ran American Top 40 with Casey Kasem, so that's how I was able to perfect.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, listener writes, Dear Casey. So you go from doing that, kicking it up a notch higher, and you got Shaggy, man.
Wow. I didn't know that you did that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's really
That's how that
interesting.
perfected,
So, when you're doing a character with like such an intense legacy like Scooby-Doo, how do you put your own spin on it? How did you
Well,
decide?
I'll be honest with you, I don't. I believe in keeping the characters true, and I just mimicked them to as close, that I could. And I think I got it down, pretty good on it. I take a lot of pride in my work and what I do, and I love that people come up to me all the time and they go, "Wow, we didn't even know it wasn't Casey Kasem." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fact, USA Today, when Witch's Ghost came out, made a quote in their paper, and it said, "Scott Innes's Shaggy is so uncanny to Casey Kasem's you can barely tell it apart."
Wow.
So that's a pretty cool deal, So I there's other people that impersonate Scooby and Shaggy. I like to say that, I get the call normally when they need it to sound just like it.
Right.
And so I take a lot of pride in that. So, but I love these characters, and I'm just happy to be still a small part of such a major franchise.
Yeah, it's really cool. By the way, Zombie Island, my
Well,
favorite.
We call it the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
It is absolutely the best Scooby movie of all time. From the animation, the voice work, from everybody involved, down profit-wise, money-wise, it's the GOAT.
It's my favorite. I loved it. That was the one that stood out
That's
to
the
me
one
the
that
most.
relaunched the franchise.
Yeah.
It really is. It had kind of been in a lull for a few years. They came out with that, and bam, it's back.
Yeah, I loved it. It was really good. But also, so Scooby-Doo's teamed up with a lot of different people, all kinds of different people. Who would you like to see Scooby-Doo teamed up with in the future?
Columbo.
Columbo?
I'm a Columbo nut. That's probably or Dexter.
Yeah.
I mean, I love those two entities, and I just thought it would be so weird to put them together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, man, is that Dexter? Yeah, it's Dexter Morgan. So I'm just throwing it out there. Could be possible,
You heard it here first.
That's right. Pardon me, Lieutenant Columbo. But so that's what I would have.
Sounds good to me. Also, why do you think that Scooby-Doo has had such an effect and lasted for so long?
I'll tell you why. Because Scooby-Doo represents the coward in all of us. We all have things we're not going to do, but we have people talk us into it. So it's like when your dad, you're growing up, he says, "You're going to take the trash out." And you're like, "No, I'm not." Take the trash out. "No, I'm not." "Would you do it if I took you maybe to the park?" "No." "I'll take you to Toys R Us." "Okay." We all have our breaking point, and no matter what it is. For Scooby and Shaggy, it's food. And when you start making them food, they start, "Yeah, okay, I'll do it." All right? And so we're all cowards, And that's why he represents, because he's so much just like everyday people.
Right. So if you had to break Scooby-Doo down and you say, who is Scooby-Doo to you, just in a simple way?
Well, I mean, he's my best friend. He really is. And, those characters have been really sweet to me. And I likewise have been sweet to them. I just love them to death. Scrappy-Doo as well. Scrappy gets not a fair shake sometimes, but Scrappy-Doo saved the franchise. 1979, look it up. There would be no Scooby-Doo today had it not been for Scrappy. If it hadn't been for me, Scrappy Scrappy Dappy Doo. I'm telling you right now, I saved the franchise. That's me. So,
I've always been Team Scrappy myself.
I'm Team Scrappy all the time.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for having me, man.
Pleasure.
As Casey Kasem always said, we like to throw it back to him because he was such an iconic radio personality, because that's what I do. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
Amen.
There you go.
Thank you.